Hi friends, do you feel in today's date you are not being loved enough, you feel unloved, or other people around you also saying the same thing that I don't feel the needed love in my life? Or in a way you have deep feelings for a person, that you love a person. It could be your mother, it could be your sister, brother, your partner in a marriage, it could be your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever. You have that love deep within you for them, but you are not able to express it properly. Or in a way, they say that you are just saying that you love us, but you don't really love us. Is that the sentence that you're getting from people? It does happen with many of us that we have deep feelings, but we are not able to express them. And there are secret ways, there are beneficial ways of putting these feelings into action so that the other person also feels the same for you. This is what we call as the love language. So today in Mind Wellness Everyday, we are going to learn how to tap or understand this definition of love or the love language so that people around you get your love expressed in a correct manner. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel of Mind Wellness Everyday, please do subscribe, because we will be having a lot of such things being shared on this channel which will be useful for you in your everyday life, in your relation. It could be in your work, it could be in your studies, and everything in your life for your mental health and well-being and happiness. So please do subscribe. So we are going to start with an example to get to the point of the love language. Now, this is an example of a husband and a wife, Stella and Mike. And Mike was a very hard-working person, and he was an executive in a company. He was doing the best for his family, where his wife and 2 children were getting all the best luxuries of their life. But still, they had huge problems in their marriage, because Mike came home and he used to all the time find Stella grumbling and unhappy with him. He never got a bit of appreciation from her. Whereas on the other hand, Stella was a good person and she did take care of the house, her children, everything which was expected from a good wife. She did everything. She also managed her own career along with this. But she was not happy in the marriage. He was also not happy in the marriage. Now, what went wrong here? So when they were like, I spoke to them separately, they told me that what Mike expected was nothing but a little bit of appreciation for all the hard work that he is doing, and that Stella stops grumbling on small issues. On the other hand, when I spoke to Stella, Stella said, no, it's not that Mike is a bad husband. He is good. He is doing everything for the house. I can understand the hard work he is putting in. He's doing everything for the children also. He is doing everything. He's paying bills and he's doing everything possible for the house. But I don't feel loved. Why? When asked why, she said, well, I expect Mike to slow down a little in life, stop all this, you can say, running behind money business, and cool down a little and spend some time with family and me. She wanted, what she expected was some togetherness and quality time from Mike. Whereas Mike was all the time busy in his business, in his activities, and he did not have any time for her. When they were asked to work on this, Mike was suggested to slow down a little. That means it was not that he had to quit his career and his business and everything and come back home, but it was more like he was required to keep some spaces in his work time and give some time to Stella and his family. And sometimes they could go on weekends for some picnics or some outings, maybe both of them or maybe the whole family sometimes. So he did this. On the other hand, once he started spending time with them, automatically Stella started feeling loved. She was not unhappy because she had to work and do all the things in the house. Her unhappiness was resolved because Mike gave her what she expected in the relation, and she expected nothing but his time and his togetherness. So once she started getting it, automatically everything fell in place and she was a happy person. She also started appreciating what Mike was doing for them, and once he got the appreciation, again his side of love also was fulfilled. So for both of them, the requirement of action in love was different. That means they did have love feelings. The feelings was not that they did not love each other, they did love each other, but the problem that was there was they were not expressing it correctly in terms of what the other person wanted. Now there was another case which had come to me where the son continuously said that his father did not love him. Now, in fact, a father-son relation is not such that the father is not going to love the son. There will be definitely love in the relation. So what went wrong? Then I questioned the son as to what happened and why he was feeling this way. So he gave a few examples, of which one of them was, all the time his father was buying things for him, but something which he did not want, but the father wanted him to use. Like after graduation, he wanted a bike which costed 1/4 the price of a car, but since the father wanted to gift him a very expensive type of a gift, he gave him a car and not the bike. Now this created unhappiness in the mind of the son because he felt that I wanted the bike and my father gave me the car. That means my father does not love me, he only loves himself, his choices, and whatever he gives I have to accept. It was not that way. The father felt that if I would graduate and I would be given a car, then I would feel loved. This is what the father thought. So based on that, based on his own feelings, he gave the car to the son. On the other side, the son did not want the car and felt unloved. Now this is what happens in most of the cases. We think from our own angle. That means if I want the best thing, then how would I want it from the other side. That means if I wanted something best for myself, what would I buy? So the father thought that the best thing I would buy for my own self was the car, and so he bought the car for his son. So the expression of love is done in the wrong way again. So the person, if he's wanting something based on his choice, if you provide, then the person will feel the love. Now, this is what happens in most of the cases. What we feel we would buy or we would get in a particular situation or we would need in a particular situation. It's not just things, it could be even feelings. We give the same to the other person whom we love. So we are looking at the situation from our own angle and not from the angle of the other person. This is where we fail to understand the love language of the other person, or we could say in other words, the definition of love that a person has. So his definition or her definition of love could be different from your own. Now many a times it is said, do unto others what you would do unto yourself. Now this does not work in love. When we are in love, the feeling is mutual, but the actions should be different. If our actions are based on our own choice and our own perspective, the love is bound to fail even though the feeling was there. Take a very simple example to understand this concept of definition of love. Suppose you're going to your friend and you want to give a pack of ice cream. How would you decide the flavor? Obviously, in this case, you would say, I would think about what my friend likes and then accordingly I will buy. Suppose you don't know what your friend likes, then what would you do? Then obviously you would say, if I were to buy, I would buy the best flavor which I like. That means, let's say you like vanilla ice cream, you buy a vanilla ice cream pack and you give it to the friend. Now if the friend tells you in some conversation that they don't like vanilla ice cream but they like basically a flavor of chocolate, then next time when you go to their house, obviously you are not going to carry vanilla ice cream, you are going to carry a pack of chocolate ice cream. Why did you change this? Because you understood that if you have to gift them and make them feel loved, then you have to, or make them feel happy in a way, then you will have to gift them what they like. So this is a matter of gifts. Gifts are very simple to understand and deal with, because once you know the choice of a person and once you learn from observation, it is easy to give the other person what they want. But in the matter of a relationship, there are many aspects to it, including the emotional aspect. We deal with a situation in life, each of us will deal with the same situation differently. So if a person is a little more emotional than you, or a person is less emotional than you, and they don't express in actions, in words, the feelings which you want them to express or communicate with you, then the possibility of not feeling loved magnifies. Because if I am dealing with a problem, let's say you are suffering from headache, and from childhood you're okay with it. I mean, you just probably sleep for a while and you get up and the headache goes, or probably you don't give it much of attention because it's just a small headache. So for you, that health issue of a headache is nothing. But when, let's say, your partner is facing the same difficulty, let's say after marriage, your husband or your wife is having a headache, how would you deal with the situation? Well, in this case, most of the time you would say, okay, it's just a headache. Why are you worrying so much? I mean, you would react in a very simple way. You will say, okay, it's just a headache. There's nothing big to be dealt with. This is how you would feel, because you overcome that headache in a very normal manner. But the partner from childhood is probably pampered for that headache also. That could be a possibility. So when you neglect that headache, or when you say that it's just a little headache and nothing else, and you just walk away from that situation because you don't feel like dealing with it in a very serious manner, but your partner feels it is serious, that, oh look, I'm not feeling well, my head is paining, and this person just walked away without even asking me if I need anything. So this could be the feelings are different in that same situation, because we are born, brought up, and in fact by birth only, each person is differently made, physically, mentally, emotionally. We have gone through different issues in life. So we need to understand the feelings of a person in a particular situation and then deal with it in accordance. So if in the situation which I gave you just as an example of that headache, if the person would sit next to his partner and just say a few good words, okay, take care, don't worry, just take a good nap and you will feel better, or you just bring him or her some medicine and then you go for your work, it's fine. Then those few words would matter to them and they will feel loved, because this is the way they want an expression from you. On the other side, when you have a headache, you don't want to be pampered, and in fact if you are pampered, you will feel that you may feel unloved because of it. So they have to learn that you deal with the situation differently and you don't need that pampering. So when expressions required are different, we have to deal with those situations in accordance to make that person feel the love. We can't work in that situation on the same platform, on the same basis as how we deal with it in that situation. If you do that, the definite, you can say, outcome will be that the other person feels unloved. So in a way, when you are dealing with any relation for that matter in your life, you have a feeling of love for the other person in your heart, but you are not able to express it. What you need to do is you have to be a little more observant to how they are dealing with those situations, what are their likes and dislikes, and what would they want you to do. Sometimes you can just ask them, what do you expect for you to feel happy? What should I do? In a very nice way, you could just come up with a communication that I want to do something for you, and what would you like me to do for you to feel better and happy in your life? So if they tell you clearly certain things, these are your basis of learning their definition of love, and you would definitely be in a better position to express the feelings that you have. Many a times the feelings die off slowly because you don't get the expected response and action from the other side. So just few actions, few words, few emotional expressions that you can give for the other person are the beneficial bondings that are created in a long-term relationship. If you fail to give those actions, you are bound to fail in the relation. So love can also shrink and die in the phased manner if continuously the other person feels unloved. So if you're not having a feeling of love for them anymore, or you don't love them at all, then this feeling can never change, or it will not change. I'm not asking you about the feelings to be changed. I'm asking you to express this feeling in a better way so that people feel that love for you. Now, all the time it may not be possible to do what they want, but you can possibly find ways and means to do as much as possible as they wish you to do, or express things in the way they want. So just in case you have any such issues about relations, about your career, about your other things in life where you would like to talk to me and where you would like my help, you could always write to me on mindwellnesseveryday@gmail.com, and I would be more than happy to help you in this. So take care and hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you.